Hey, Manny here. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's holidays are going well. I'm looking forward to the new year. I've been learning a lot of stuff lately, and hope to be incorporating that into my photographic journey. Anyway, somebody asked me about my black and white workflow. Well, now basically my black and white workflow is that I shoot mainly black and white film now. So. Um, a lot of black and white film. Whether it's 35 millimeter or 120. That's pretty much what I'm doing most of the time these days. I'm going to start shooting a little more um, with my digital camera just because I have it. I'm also going to be carrying around my little Canon G9 a little more, carrying around with me all the time just because it's easy to carry around, easy to use, and has some great pictures. Kind of looking back on last year or this year, anyway. A lot of my best pictures were with that tiny little camera. Ones that sold well, and they got a lot of good response were from that little G9. So it's like, wow, okay, I made some 16 by 20 prints with it, and it looks great. They look beautiful. You can't tell anything. It's only a 12 megapixel camera. So anyway, my black and white workflow is pretty simple. No matter whether I'm doing digital or shooting negative. If I'm shooting negative, I kind of have a little video on my workflow for scanning with my Nikon 600, D600, and I have that with. I'll try and put that link up here somewhere. I haven't done that before, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah. So what I do is I basically now just only because I'm shooting mainly Nikon cameras. I use an X Studio pretty much exclusively to kind of look at everything, and then from there I'm moving into Photoshop or Affinity Photo or even Darktable now. So I'm going to start using Darktable a little more. Adobe's changing their subscription-based model again, so I don't know what I'm going to have to be paying for Photoshop and Lightroom in the future. So I may dump it completely. I don't know. Figure it out when they send me my letter, and I don't want to pay 120 bucks up front right now, just because I just don't. God, that's just so ridiculous to me. I have to pay $120 every year for the software. So I've been using Affinity Photo a lot more, and then even trying more in Darkroom and kind of figuring out that workflow. In general, once I get everything into either Affinity or into Photoshop, what I really use a lot these days, whether I'm editing in Photoshop or Affinity Photo, I basically do the same thing. I bring it into Affinity Photo or Photoshop after shooting it, scanning it, or even if I'm just shooting on my regular, in digitally in color. What I'll do is bring it in, and then I will apply a gradient map, a black and white gradient map. That's how I do everything. Basically, it, gradient maps. I'm not an expert on Photoshop by any means, but this process works great for me. The gradient map kind of maps um, black to the dark areas and whites to the highlights, and it kind of and grays all in between. So that's how it kind of works. In order to create my gradient maps, I have several presets that I use. Then what I do to create new presets or to create the old presets is go into Adobe Color. Now, Adobe Color is pretty cool. I'll leave the link down below. It allows you to grab the gradient, the gradient from any image that you put in. So I went through, and what I did is I grabbed, some Edward Weston images and some Ansel Adams images and some images from HBO's uh, Riley, which is some beautiful. If you haven't seen that show, a little slow for me, but it looks beautiful. The black and white is amazing, and I use those to create my gradients. And because Adobe Color will pretty much kind of grab all the gradients and show you where they are and what they are, and you can pick as many points as you want. You can I pick like generally 5 points, set it to 5 points, and then use that and copy and paste the gradients and the positions into either Affinity Photo or into Photoshop. And then I save those presets. Okay. And then from there, all I have to do is adjust the levels a little bit, and that's it. And then you might use a gray layer, 50% gray layer on soft light to dodge and burn. There's some great tutorials on that on YouTube. I'm not by any means an expert on that kind of stuff. I just know that you add a gray layer above the image, and then I put it above the image and between the image and the gradient map, and then you can use black to burn, and then white to dodge. So you use a low opacity brush in order to create the dodging and burning. So it's pretty much kind of like a darkroom kind of thing anyway. And that's all I do. That's literally all I do. Of course, now I make sure that when I take the initial picture that I do my best to meter it. I usually use a handheld meter, whether it's a Minolta Flash Meter 3, or I have a Gaussian Luna Pro, and I'll use those to meter my scene, to get make sure that I meter it properly, and use a little, try and use a little zone system-y kind of stuff to make sure that everything looks good. Very much like working in the darkroom. It's like picking the right paper, because different papers give you kind of different looks, and so the Ansel Adams is a lot cooler, a lot more neutral kind of a look. The Weston that I picked is a lot warmer, and that's it. And then I dodge and burn using the gray layers, and that's all I do. Again, I start out with a good exposure, and then simple gradient maps, and that's it. Boom, done deal. I'm gonna try and do some new stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about maybe putting a book together. I've gotten some work that I've been shooting. Um, one subject a lot lately and a lot over the last couple of years. And so the other day I'm kind of like, maybe I ain't got enough of these pictures. Maybe I should, start thinking about putting together a book on this one place that I've been shooting, and see what happens. I don't know. So yeah, if I hope you guys are liking everything that I'm doing. If you have any suggestions, again, like I said, I got this from somebody about, it's like, what's your workflow? Black and white. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. Like I said, let me know what you guys have been up to, what you guys are doing. If you want me to talk about anything in particular, let me know. Just hit me up, whatever you want to do. Just let me know what's going on with your life, how everything's going. Um, you're getting any new equipment, did you get rid of some stuff? I just, like I said, I did have gas for a little while, gear acquisition system. I think I'm over it now. I'm just kind of like, I'm so happy with the setup right now that I was like, every time I think about getting something, I'm like, I don't know. I have fun using my little Yashica Mat 124G. I have fun shooting with my new Minolta. I have fun shooting with my little Nikons. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm carrying around my Canon G9. I'm gonna carry that around all the time with me, just because you never know when something's gonna crop up, and I take a picture. I take my daughter to work every day. And I took my camera because there's just some cool stuff around her office building that I really like, and so I took that camera and photographed them. Haven't processed those yet, or post process them yet. So I'm going to take a look at those next day or so. Put them up next time. But yeah, it's just keep shooting, guys. Don't worry about anything. Just have fun taking pictures. Don't worry about the gear. Don't worry about try to don't over process your stuff. Just get everything down to simple basics. Just exposure on your camera, then some just tweak it just a little bit. If you don't have to over process it, don't. Like I said, if you're converting your color images into black and white, just a simple gradient map. simple gradient mount. There's a lot of tutorials. That's where I got it from, on YouTube, on how to use gradient maps for color grading and just for converting into black and white. And those really, I like those a lot. Um, and like I said, I post a link to Adobe Color so you guys can snag some pictures on from the internet and grab the gradients, and make your own little color black and white presets or color presets. I mean, it'll work either way. So there you go. So thank you very much again. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, hit like, comment. Buy me a cup of coffee. It makes this a little easier. Make it easier for me to get some stuff done. So thank you very much. And there's my cat coming in the way. Here you go. That was Scrambles. 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 Yep. That was Scrambles. Scrambles, the death dealer, just walked by. So she has the run of the house. She kind of runs the house. So yeah, not much you can do about her. So anyway, so thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.